Hi, I'm Kayla, and I have a message for you. I invite in God, angels, our ancestors who are of the highest good and integrity, 9 and above, and I ask that they just bring forward the information we need to hear today. And I was told this is for my Wayfinders collective. So if that term resonates with you, or if you are just curious, please stick around. So this is a collective reading, so if you were drawn to this place, then it may be for you, but of course take what resonates. And we have the King of Coins. I do not know yet what this reading is about, so I'm excited to find out with you. Oh, all right. Oh, we also have the King of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the King of Swords. Okay, so we have 3 kings on the board, and also the 8 of Wands, King of Coins, King of Wands, King of Swords. This is a very strong momentum. This is a course to victory. Give me some more information on the guidance that is needed here for this collective. Oh, look, we have some that are already flipped over. I think this is where you've been. So I have the 7 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, the Tower in reverse, the 4 of Cups, and I also have the 3 of Coins in reverse. So this is really telling me that you're moving past the energy of competition. You've gone through the Tower moment, and now it is the season of rebirth. I'm really drawn to like the birds around this, so perhaps this is upright. Perhaps the birds are a sign for you. But I feel like Spirit has been coming in and delivering messages. They have been leaving you, or maybe you're communicating with Spirit. Maybe your psychic gifts are online and active, and you've been cultivating that. But I hear within you lies the strength of your spirit. They're telling me that you're... Okay, cool. So there's been a connection with you and your higher self. And I feel like that, like the embodiment, that merging is complete. And as you have been moving on this path, you have been blindfolded for a long time. And maybe you have not known where you were going, but you've embraced trust, you've embraced faith, and this feels very much like this connection to yourself. You have been pouring into yourself, cultivating within yourself, really trying to understand some of the life experiences and these vulnerabilities that you have come face to face with. And instead of shoving your shadow back down into the abyss, you have embraced her. You said, well, if you keep coming out and whispering these things to me, then perhaps there's something I need here. And you gave her that attention. I say her. You gave your shadow the attention. And now it is time to cultivate your resources to aid you on the journey forward. The King of Coins is really reminding me of this, and this feels very much like setting that intention with the universe and continuing to do the work that you've been doing, facing the shadow, addressing your beliefs, and really integrating and embodying more of your truth, more of your soul, more of yourself. And that connection to your soul is what is igniting your path forward. You have moved beyond a lot of limitations. And the birds, again, it's a huge sign. Eagles for me have been significant. Bring me back. The birds distracted me a little bit. But you have been cultivating these gifts within you, and now it's time to show up and set yourself free and allow yourself to live from this place instead of doing it in secret. And that means there will be those that you have to set firm boundaries with and cultivate this resolve within you to accept nothing less than what you truly deserve, which is safety and love and abundance. Let's pull a handful more cards for this path forward. Where are we going, and what messages do we need to know to assist us on our journey? Carve out some time to sit and cultivate that connection with yourself. I'm seeing like a journaling practice. Maybe that is connecting with spirit, inviting them in and asking some questions like I'm doing here. And then receiving the answer, writing it down so that you have it to refer back to. Because I know for myself, if I'm channeling, a lot of times I forget what I say, and then I go back and watch it and I'm like, oh man, this is so good. So I did have the Queen of Wands and Death. This is, oh, okay. We are, okay, so the word I want to use is grieving our old self, but that doesn't feel quite right. I feel like this is more of a celebration. Perhaps, making your own little ritual of it, lighting a candle, or whatever ritual resonates with you, but a celebration of surviving all the things that you had to go through. That celebration of really, man, I'm proud of myself. Maybe I picked up some survival mechanisms, and maybe I operated in things that don't align with me now, but who I was really carried me through to this position, to this place in my journey that I'm at now. And from this place, I get to cultivate more change, more creativity, more joy. And this is just forgiveness. This is forgiveness for the things that you allowed yourself to tolerate, for not standing up for yourself because it wasn't safe, like just forgiving yourself for all of the things that helped you survive, but also kept you disconnected from yourself and from your spirit and from your soul tribe. Because as we're moving forward, this next stretch of time, however long that may be, this next cycle that we are entering, we are cultivating this change first within ourselves so that we can see it within society. We are calling in big things. We are no longer tolerating the bullshit. We got the star. It did appear reversed, but this to me symbolizes her reaching for that greater gift, that greater economy, that greater cultivation of community based on love and support and nurturing, returning to the values of the tribe. I personally am Indigenous, and that's a really big core value of mine. But no matter your ethnicity, I almost said denomination, no matter your affiliation, that community and that coming together to cultivate the strength of the many does feel significant. And maybe that's one of your core values, is wanting to cultivate these environments and spaces, even if that is just within your personal community, within your home life, within your workspace, or whatever that may be. So take that as it resonates. But this is the direction we're moving into. We are moving forward with spirit. Actually, just right before I jumped on here, I received the message. I was sitting with some shifts and changes in my energy today, and as I'm sitting here just like appreciating that and sitting in that gratitude, the message came through and they were like, you invited Source in, and now the party can get started. And I mean, that's wonderful. This is so cool. I'm so excited. This connection to soul is, Something that's really hard to explain to those who haven't experienced it, but for those who have tapped into that soul alignment, it's amazing. It's so good. It's so good. The sun. It's so good. Anyone that wants to have personalized guidance in connecting to soul and finding that alignment within your path, working through some of these lingering things, reach out to me. But I do have the Hanged Man in reverse, and this is the party's getting started. We're ready to move past the place of surrender, but in this instance, it does feel like there was a moment where perhaps you wanted to give up, like the dark before the dawn, and then I got the High Priestess. But you chose not to give up. So there was a moment where you wanted to give up. You were very tempted to just give in, and you held on to that spark within your soul. You held on to that voice that said, there is something greater for me here. There is something beyond what I'm currently experiencing. And you continued to reflect and heal and nurture and bring in that compassion. And maybe it wasn't perfect, and it was definitely messy because we're human. But these are exciting times. Okay. I got the High Priestess, and then as I'm starting to like put these cards away, these fell out. So let's check it out. I have the Fool. New beginnings, new horizons, going on that new magical journey. She's riding a broom. It does give me some witchy vibes, which I'm really enjoying. I have been, this past month, October, I was challenged to bring in ritual to my daily mundane living, and it has been so fun, and it has been tiny, and I've let it be goofy, and my inner child is lit up. It's awesome. So find those things that spark that within you, that childlike joy. We got the Magician. I love it. I love it. Source is so cool. All right, we got the Magician, which, I mean, it speaks to itself. It's about taking on that practice of really reflecting on our inner and outer journey and how they are reflections of each other. And I'm always drawn to this little snail in her hair. I'm watching a show right now, and one of the like key phrases that has been in it is slow down to speed up, which makes a lot of sense. And in the show, it is slow down, like to smooth out your movements so that you are more effective in what you're doing. And I think that society has taught us to cultivate rush and push and hustle and just charging forward no matter what, like the grit and determination, which is sometimes necessary and beautiful. It is to be admired, but it is not everything. We are here to cultivate change within ourselves so that we can cultivate the change within society. And so we do have to cultivate these slower moments of self-connection, self-reflection, of really tuning into our soul, our spirit, and the divine, and saying, okay, what is it that's needed to move forward into this path of these values? If you have not done so, a really huge practice that I have experienced on my journey is to journal on your core values. And I'd pick 5. If that's overwhelming, start with 3. But get in touch with 3 core values that you either hold very dear or that you would like to operate from, and just sit and reflect with that. That'll bring up a whole lot for you. So dive in there. And then I did get Temperance. It's in reverse, but this card, it's mirrored opposites. So this to me is spirit coming into earth, the ethers, and then we're channeling it down through our body and anchoring that here within the physical. And then I got the Lovers, which is a card of divine union, both with your right. Okay, so it's not only feminine and masculine, but it is spirit and human, the spirit and the ego. The ego, I see it as 2 sides of a coin. So we have the ego, which is our front facing human persona. You can dive in there, ego. But for the sake of this, it's just that front-facing ego, the face we want to put out into the world, how we want to be seen. And then on the flip side is the shadow. That's all the things that we want to keep secret from ourselves and others. These are the things that we reject about ourselves that we don't want to be seen. And both sides of this coin, the shadow and the ego, create the human experience. But when we bring balance both there, but with that human self and the spirit, and bringing that that merging, that embodiment, that cultivating of connection, and not leaving it to a place where, okay, I connect to spirit in meditation, and then as soon as I open my eyes, I'm back into my ego operating from that space. And if that's where you're starting, fantastic, fabulous. I love that for you. And as you continue to increase that connection through meditation or whatever practices, it could literally be putting on pop music and singing and dancing in your living room. It can be anything. Your spiritual practices are your own, but continuing to cultivate that connection and embodying it even in those mundane moments when you're sitting in traffic, still having that connection to your soul, to your spirit, and seeing where that leads you, because it is fabulous. It comes with not only connection with yourself, but from this place of connection with yourself, you're able to connect with others, cultivating that community. Maybe you are calling in that divine relationship. There is so much beauty to be had there. And I feel like I just need to show these again. So we went from the Hanged Man, moving out of that space to this connection with our spirit, the High Priestess, the Sun card, which is receiving our divine blessings, enjoyment, fulfillment, all those wonderful things. The Fool, starting a new journey. The Magician, cultivating that magic and fun within. Balance, bringing in the spiritual into the physical experience. And then Lovers, cultivating wholeness, community, love, passion. Key word of this is forgiveness. They're bringing that back in again. I think there's so much beauty to be had here, and there's so much strength and resolve that you have had within your spirit. So celebrate yourself. Be proud of yourself. Maybe write a little thank you letter to yourself. It can be goofy, it can be silly, it can be whatever you want, but you are worthy of celebration. So thank you for being here. And like I said, if you would like a private session, please reach out, follow me, etc.